airport. We're about half hour into our hour and a half trip to DIA. Yeah, family vacay. Awesome. And we made it to the airport. All right, we made it to the airport. First part of the journey done. Pretty exciting and cool. Saw some awesomely horrible concrete. Look at that. I mean, you want to talk about some ASR damage. I mean, that stuff is just bleeding out. That's gorgeous. Southern Oregon in Rouge, hanging out with some friends, some family. We got a call from one of our clients yesterday that they were trying out concrete mix, exterior slab, and just had a lot of problems with stickiness, the surface turning white. Pump operator was complaining about it. Finisher was complaining about it.
Took forever to set up.
Took forever. That was the biggest thing. Yep. Biggest thing. And just all around was not a great experience.
Yep.
And we were asked what went wrong. And of course, without a lot of information, you know, we went through a lot of guesses.
Sure.
Man, I was
pretty worked up about it.
I was pretty worked up about it.
I know.
And especially the not setting up, because they were playing with a new admixture that we had recommended, and that has no effect.
Right.
Or minimal.
On set time. Right.
On set time. And this was something like hours. Like it was retarding it, and it got like elephant skin. It was ripping apart.
Yeah.
It was, I was,
Yeah, I know.
So this morning was like 5:40 to have this batch ticket on the counter, and looked at it, and it was
no bueno.
Okay, and that's what we wanted to talk to you guys about today. Whitney actually used one word, and I used another word. It was, do you mind if I just throw the mix out there? 530 pounds total cementitious.
That's kind of low cementitious too.
No,
that's a little low.
I thought it was good enough for what they wanted. Anyway, so 530 on total cementitious. I think it was like 1,600 on the 3/8 inch rock.
Yep.
1,200 on the sand. They were using a mid-range at...
Oh, it was a mid-range, not a high-range?
Yeah, it was totally mid-range. I would say it was a normal, but somewhere mid-range or normal at 6 ounces per hundredweight. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 ounces per hundredweight. Okay. Air and training agent at a ½ ounce per hundredweight. And then they also had a hydration stabilizer.
Right.
And that was at 10 ounces per hundredweight. And with that, I mean, I don't necessarily think they needed that much.
And the water to cementitious
was a 0.62. 0.626.
Yep, so 0.63.
0.63. And that was like,
freaking high.
Holy crap. Like, why? Like, the slab was white. Remember that. Like, it was bleached white at the surface. Yep. There was no dusting. The admixture that was used actually saved the slab. Right. But why in the heck are you using that much water?
So,
And that's where our argument went this morning.
Yes.
What word did you use?
I said it was a crappy mix. Now I get that there is a place for lower end residential concrete mixes. That's what it is.
Yeah, fine, but there is a place in the industry for that.
I get it. That being said, though, it was not what our client had ordered, and why I said
no. Our client was working with a contractor. Our client did not order anything.
He didn't order it. It was not what he had requested, nor what he had paid for.
Right.
And that was why I called it a crappy mix.
And my argument is that it was not crappy concrete. Like, the ready mix provider, they made a good concrete. Now, was it inferior compared to the 4,500 PSI mix that we asked with a water cementitious ratio of 0.43 to 0.45?
Yes.
Totally. It is definitely inferior. Yes. But to use the word crappy, especially as professionals in the field,
sure.
we're giving a connotation that is not correct. that we are saying that the concrete itself was made in a shitty manner, in a crappy manner, or the materials.
Yeah.
I think it was great concrete. I think they used great materials, and I think, I mean, even in a perfect setting, if somebody's ordering this concrete, they better know what they're getting.
Right.
And I think, in my opinion, it was the contractor
That
who was trying to get, who changed, who got a $70, $80 concrete, and was trying to play it off like it was $120, $150 concrete.
Right.
And that was
sold
crap.
a low-end residential for a high-end residential price.
Right. Totally.
Just because he thought he could slip it in there.
And he did.
He totally did.
He totally did. If it wasn't, I mean...
Yeah.
And I tell you, I've been brooding over this.
Yeah.
Like, I have not been sleeping because I was doing the math in my head before I was going to sleep last night. Like, how many yards, because it was like, you know, a 15 by 20 foot slab, so it's 300 square feet, 6 inches thick, so that's 150 cubic feet.
Yep.
So that divided by around 27 or 30 means 5 cubic yards and change.
Right.
I found out this morning they ordered 6 cubic yards, so they had a little bit over.
Right.
Right, so I was trying to do, okay, well, we had this much additive that we recommended, and there's that percent solid content plus that water. They had the drive time, this was the temperature. And I was going through all that math, and I was like, there is nothing in there that would have caused a delay in the set time.
That significant delay.
Like, what I had said to our client, I was like, something's not right.
Yeah.
It's either they put an accelerator in, or something's just not jiving.
Right.
And of course...
He said it's not... Because he had done a test lab not too long ago, and he was like, it's not the same mix.
Totally.
And that was, I think, the concern, because the same mix was requested, but that was not the mix that was delivered.
No way. No.
And it wasn't. I mean, we looked at, granted, we don't have the
ounces.
batch tickets for the first one, but just, you know, what was ordered and what was delivered was...
I say we play the devil's advocate.
Sure.
Anyway, so imagine for a second it was the same mix, right? Let's just say for a second.
Okay.
Let's just say for a second. The admixture that we recommended
Mm-hmm.
enhances most other admixtures around it.
Mm-hmm.
If they're putting 10 ounces per hundredweight of a hydration stabilizer,
That's a freaking lot.
but then you add into the admixture that we recommended,
Sure.
and I mean, shit, even if they put an accelerator in there, it would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
It would have, that skyrocket in flight with that accelerator, it would have happened faster.
Sure.
So, I mean, this is just the opposite. I mean, and then they added water on the job site, which
Bumped it up to like a 0.64.
I mean, with an hour and a half drive, totally necessary. But then you add the fact that you had the retarder in there, or the hydration stabilizer.
You're right. At
And
that high
water,
dosage, I don't feel like that was necessary. I feel like
I think that was.
I feel like it
overkill.
was it was the end of the day, and they were trying to get
And the
off job site.
contractor.
And they were like, okay,
wanted
let's.
it. The contractor wanted.
Was it done?
Contractor wanted double the amount.
Oh yeah. To charge double the amount?
No.
Oh.
Wanted double the amount of that
Oh,
hydration
good grief.
stabilizer.
Yeah.
So
Which
that would
have
have
been
put it to sleep.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that like was just boggling my mind. Like, why the heck
Yeah.
is this thing like not setting up
Yeah.
when it's supposed to? And
Right.
it's not like it took all freaking day. I
It
mean,
took a
it's
long time though.
20.
much
It
longer
wasn't
than-
24 hours later. It was an hour. It was an hour, maybe 2 hours later.
So.
I think that's what they said, somewhere
Okay.
around there. But you know, they weren't doing any field penetration tests, or nobody took any cylinders. But
Right. So we don't even know what the.
that being said, at a 0.63, and we did the calculation by adding the water on the job site, which I mean they might have had to with that drive. They bumped that up to a 0.64 ish.
Right.
It was more like a 0.636, but that gets rounded up, obviously.
Right.
And, you know, the fact remains is with that much water, that water should have bled to the surface and then caused
it's a white
dusting.
surface, right?
It's a white surface, but there's no freaking dusting.
Okay, well that's good.
I mean, no, like.
Well, we'll see in the days to come if that.
Okay, but right now, I mean.
Right now. Sure.
When we've done anything over a 0.50, that water bleeds.
So that admixture is doing a great job
At protecting. I mean,
Right.
that was the insurance policy.
Right.
So if anything, that being said, with that much of a hydration stabilizer,
Right.
I get it why it was sticky and nasty.
Right.
So we're going to enjoy the rest of our family vacation. We've got some other concrete that we're going to be looking at while we're here. Like I said, we're in Southern Oregon, so there's a lot of concrete that's falling apart from steel corrosion.
Sure.
And alkalizing the cements and the soils and whatnot. So we've got some fun things to look at and talk about. Go concrete.
Beat asphalt.